Plymouth currently sitting at 4 degrees Celsius, whilst Aberdeen enjoys 9 degrees. Yes, you heard that correctly. The southwest colder than the far north of Scotland. Is your area about to face the most dramatic temperature swing we've ever seen this winter? Right now, the Met Office has amber warnings active across 17 counties affecting over 12 million people, with flooding already causing disruption from Cornwall to Kent. In the next 10 minutes, I'll give you exact timings for when this system hits your doorstep, which locations face the worst conditions, and crucially, what tomorrow's model runs might change about this entire forecast. But first, drop your location in the comments right now because tomorrow I'll be doing personalized forecasts for the areas you are asking about. So let's get straight into the specifics. London, you are looking at 11 degrees today, dropping to 8 tomorrow, but it's Friday when things get interesting with temperatures potentially hitting 14 degrees. Manchester, currently 7 degrees, holding steady through Wednesday, then climbing to 12 by the weekend. Birmingham sits at 8 degrees right now, tomorrow 9 degrees, weekend pushing towards 13 degrees. For those of you in Glasgow, you are actually warmer than most of England at 10 degrees today, dropping slightly to 9 tomorrow, then back up to 11 for Saturday. Cardiff, 8 degrees, currently 9 tomorrow, and you could see 15 degrees by Sunday, which is remarkably mild for early February. Belfast, you are at 9 degrees, staying around that mark through Thursday, then climbing to 13 degrees as we head into the weekend. Now here's what nobody is talking about. This isn't just about temperatures. It's about the combination of mild air, saturated ground from 3 weeks of relentless rainfall, and another Atlantic low-pressure system tracking directly towards Ireland and Wales. The Met Office model is currently showing this system arriving Friday evening, whilst the European model suggests a few hours earlier, around lunchtime Friday. This 6-hour difference changes everything for the M4 corridor and South Wales valleys. Edinburgh, you are at 9 degrees today, 10 tomorrow, weekend looking like 12 degrees. Leeds, currently 6 degrees, tomorrow 7, climbing to 11 by Saturday. Liverpool at 7 degrees now, 8 degrees tomorrow, then 12 degrees for the weekend. Newcastle, URE sitting at 6 degrees, tomorrow 7 degrees, weekend around 10 degrees. Sheffield, 7 degrees today, 8 tomorrow, Saturday reaching 11 degrees. Bristol, 8 degrees currently, 9 tomorrow, and possibly hitting 14 degrees on Sunday. For those in Brighton, you are at 10 degrees today, tomorrow 11 degrees. Weekend could see 15 degrees with the southerly flow really kicking in. Wait until you see what is coming for the second week of February. But before we get there, let me explain why this current setup is so unusual. We've got high pressure anchored over Scandinavia, low pressure dominating the Atlantic, and the jet stream positioned in such a way that we are pulling mild air from the south, whilst northern Scotland actually sits in a cooler pocket. It's a complete inversion of what we typically expect. Oxford, 8 degrees today, 9 tomorrow, weekend 13 degrees. Cambridge, 7 degrees currently, 8 tomorrow, Saturday, 12 degrees. Nottingham, 7 degrees today, tomorrow 8, weekend 11 degrees. Southampton at 9 degrees now, 10 tomorrow, Sunday, possibly 14 degrees. Leicester, 7 degrees today, 8 tomorrow, climbing to 12 degrees by the weekend. York, 6 degrees currently, 7 tomorrow, weekend looking like 10 degrees. Exeter, 9 degrees today, 10 tomorrow, and you could see 16 degrees on Sunday, which would be exceptionally mild. Inverness, you are warmer than London right now at 10 degrees, tomorrow 9 degrees, weekend 11 degrees. Aberdeen, as I mentioned at the start, 9 degrees today, tomorrow 8, weekend 10 degrees. There's one detail that concerns me most about Friday's approaching system. It's not just bringing rain, it's bringing persistent heavy rain on already saturated ground. Devon and Cornwall have already recorded over 200 millimetres of rainfall in January. Somerset levels are struggling, parts of Gloucestershire are underwater, and now we are adding another 50 to 70 millimetres across the southwest between Friday evening and Saturday morning. Dover, 10 degrees today, 11 tomorrow, weekend 14 degrees. Plymouth, and this is where that temperature inversion gets really interesting, 4 degrees this morning, but climbing to 10 degrees by tomorrow, then potentially 15 degrees on Sunday. Blackpool, 7 degrees currently, 8 tomorrow, weekend 12 degrees. Scarborough, 6 degrees today, 7 tomorrow, Saturday 10 degrees. Penzance, you are the mildest spot in the far southwest at 11 degrees today, 12 tomorrow. Sunday could touch 16 degrees. Actually, let me just clarify that Penzance forecast because the latest model run has just come through. You might actually see 17 degrees on Sunday if the southerly flow strengthens as the European model suggests. That would be remarkable for the first week of February. Now, for the home nations, let us break this down more specifically. Swansea, 8 degrees today, 9 tomorrow, weekend 13 degrees with that rain arriving Friday night. Bangor in North Wales, 7 degrees currently, 8 tomorrow, Saturday 11 degrees but staying drier than the south. Derry in Northern Ireland, 8 degrees today, 9 tomorrow, weekend 12 degrees. The Western Isles, surprisingly mild at 9 degrees today, tomorrow 8, weekend 10 degrees. Orkney, 7 degrees currently, tomorrow 7, weekend 9 degrees. Shetland, you're actually one of the cooler spots at 6 degrees today, tomorrow 6, weekend 8 degrees. Here's where it gets interesting. At 3 minutes into this forecast, I mentioned model uncertainty about Friday's system. Let me show you why this matters. The Met Office Unified Model tracks the low-pressure centre crossing Ireland, then moving northeast across Wales into northern England. The ECMWF model takes it slightly further south, bringing the heaviest rain across the Midlands and East Anglia instead. For Birmingham, Nottingham and Leicester, this 50-mile difference determines whether you get 20 millimetres or 60 millimetres of rain on Friday night. Do check back tomorrow, because the morning model runs should clarify this track considerably. And whilst you rehear, drop your location in the comments, because I am genuinely interested in doing those personalised forecasts tomorrow. I've had hundreds of requests from places like Stoke, Preston, Sunderland, and I want to make sure I am covering your area specifically. Reading, 9 degrees today, 10 tomorrow, weekend 13 degrees. Coventry, 7 degrees currently, 8 tomorrow, Saturday 12 degrees. Preston, 7 degrees today, 8 tomorrow, weekend 11 degrees. Sunder-Inverness, 6 degrees currently, 7 tomorrow, Saturday 10 degrees. Stoke, 7 degrees today, 8 tomorrow, climbing to 11 by the weekend. Gloucester, 8 degrees currently, 9 tomorrow, weekend 13 degrees with significant rain. Friday night, Chester, 7 degrees today, 8 tomorrow, Saturday 12 degrees. The Isle of Wight, 10 degrees today, 11 tomorrow, Sunday potentially 15 degrees. Channel Islands, you are the mildest location in UK waters at 12 degrees today, 13 tomorrow, weekend possibly 17 degrees, which is extraordinarily mild. Hebrides, 9 degrees currently, tomorrow 8, weekend 10 degrees. Right then, let's talk about what happens after this weekend system clears. And this is where the forecast gets really interesting for the second week of February. Currently, both the Met Office and European models are showing high pressure building from the southwest around Tuesday the 11th. This would finally bring that drier, more settled spell everyone is desperate for. However, and this is crucial, they disagree on how long it lasts and where it positions. The Met Office ensemble suggests 3 to 4 days of settled weather before Atlantic systems return. The European model shows high pressure potentially holding for 7 to 10 days, possibly extending into mid-February. For saturated areas across southern England, the Midlands and Wales, this difference is enormous. 3 days of dry weather helps but doesn't dissolve the flooding issues. 7 to 10 days would allow rivers to recede, floodwater to drain, and ground conditions to improve significantly. Hull, 6 degrees today, 7 tomorrow, weekend 10 degrees. Worcester, 8 degrees currently, 9 tomorrow, Saturday 13 degrees. Derby, 7 degrees today, 8 tomorrow, weekend 11 degrees. Dundee, 8 degrees currently, 9 tomorrow, Saturday 11 degrees. Stirling, 9 degrees today, tomorrow 9, weekend 11 degrees. Now, there's one location that could see something unexpected next week. If that high pressure builds, as the European model suggests, and if it positions itself over southern England and Wales, we could see some anticyclonic gloom developing. This means low cloud, mist, fog, quite murky conditions despite the high pressure. But here, as the interesting bit, northern Scotland could actually end up brighter with clearer skies as you sit on the northern edge of that high pressure. So Inverness, Aberdeen, Dundee, you might get the best of the weather whilst London and the south sit under grey skies. Hang on, let me check that again because the latest run has just updated. Yes, that scenario is looking increasingly likely for Tuesday through Thursday next week. I'll have much more detail on this tomorrow once we see the overnight model runs. Bournemouth, 10 degrees today, 11 tomorrow, Sunday 14 degrees. Torquay, 9 degrees currently, 10 tomorrow, weekend 15 degrees. Eastbourne, 10 degrees today, 11 tomorrow, Saturday 14 degrees. Middlesbrough, 6 degrees currently, 7 tomorrow, weekend 9 degrees. Carlisle, 6 degrees today, 7 tomorrow, Saturday 10 degrees. Let me address the rainfall totals more specifically because I know this is causing real concern. Between now and Sunday evening, the southwest is looking at 80 to 100 millimetres in the wettest locations. South Wales, 60 to 80 millimetres. Southern England from Hampshire across to Kent, 40 to 60 millimetres. The Midlands, 30 to 50 millimetres, depending on that track I mentioned earlier. Northern England, 20 to 40 millimetres. Scotland, 10 to 30 millimetres, heaviest in the west. Northern Ireland, 40 to 60 millimetres, particularly Friday night into Saturday. These aren't catastrophic numbers individually, but remember, we re-adding them to already saturated ground. The Environment Agency currently has over 100 flood warnings active across England. Natural Resources Wales has warnings across major river systems. SEPA has alerts in Western Scotland. This additional rainfall could trigger new flooding in vulnerable areas or worsen existing situations. Luton, 8 degrees today, 9 tomorrow, weekend 13 degrees. Ipswich and Norwich both at 7 to 8 degrees currently, climbing to 11 or 12 by the weekend. Peterborough, Canterbury, Chelmsford and Colchester all following similar patterns with weekend temperatures reaching 12 to 14 degrees. There's something else we need to discuss. Wind speeds. Friday S system doesn't just bring rain, it brings blustery conditions. Coastal areas of Wales and southwest England could see gusts of 80 to 90 kilometres per hour. Not storm force, but certainly strong enough to cause disruption given saturated ground. Unfortunately for the southwest, this persistent wet weather is rather unusual. Typically, February sees Atlantic systems tracking further north as we move towards spring. Actually, I should be more precise about that blocking pattern. It's more of a ridge extending from Eastern Europe, deflecting Atlantic systems southwards. Lincoln, Grimsby, Harrogate, Kendal and Lancaster all ranging from 6 to 8 degrees today, climbing to 10 or 11 by the weekend. If there is one thing to take away from this forecast, it is this. The next 72 hours brings more significant rainfall, but we should see improvement from Sunday onwards as high pressure tries to build. The key uncertainty is how long that improvement lasts. Durham, Berwick and Perth all at 6 to 9 degrees currently, reaching 10 to 11 by the weekend. Fort William and Oban holding steady around 8 to 10 degrees throughout. I know this isn't ideal for weekend planning. The good news is temperatures remain mild. And for gardeners, this mild February spell benefits early spring growth, provided flooding isn't affecting your area. Friday evening rush hour could be significantly impacted by heavy rain across Wales and southwest England. Saturday morning across southern England and the Midlands. Rail and road conditions will be challenging. Truro, Barnstable, Taunton and the West Country towns all sitting at 9 to 10 degrees currently, climbing to 14 or 15 by the weekend. Hereford, Shrewsbury and Wrexham at 7 to 8 degrees, reaching 12 to 13 degrees on Saturday. Do check back tomorrow because I'll have updated rainfall totals and clearer timing on Friday S system. Like opening a freezer door across the country, that is what it would take to shift this mild pattern. Currently, there's no sign of that through mid-February. Warwick, Stratford, Kidderminster and Telford, all at 7 to 8 degrees today, climbing to 12 or 13 by the weekend. According to the latest model runs, there is one scenario where we could see a brief cooler spell around the 15th to 17th of February. The European ensemble shows about 30% probability of this, with temperatures dropping to average or slightly below for mid-February. Aberystwyth and Carmarthen in Wales at 8 to 9 degrees currently, reaching 13 to 14 by Sunday, with heavy rain Friday night. The Met Office has amber warnings for rain across Devon, Cornwall and Somerset from Friday evening through Saturday morning. Yellow warnings extend across Wales, southern England and the Midlands, Newquay, St Ives, Falmouth and Paignton across the Cornish coast, all at 10 to 11 degrees currently, reaching 15 to 16 by the weekend. For Scotland, you are in a much better position. The heaviest rain stays south of the Central Belt. Glasgow and Edinburgh might see showers Saturday, but nothing like the persistent heavy rain affecting England and Wales. Motherwell, Ayr, Kilmarnock, Dumfries and Galashiels all holding steady at 8 to 9 degrees through the weekend. Right then, let's summarize. Mild conditions continue with temperatures well above average for early February. Friday's Atlantic system brings significant rainfall to southern Britain. Amber warnings in place for the southwest. The system clears Sunday, then high pressure builds early next week, bringing drier conditions. There is still uncertainty about Friday's precise track, which determines whether the Midlands or East Anglia sees heaviest rainfall. Model comparison tomorrow should clarify this. Beyond next week's settled spell, it is difficult to have confidence in the detail. The broad pattern looks like Atlantic systems with temperatures around or above average. There's a small chance of a brief cooler spell around the 15th to 17th. For tomorrow's forecast, I'll have specific updates on Friday's system, revised rainfall totals, and better clarity on next week's high pressure. And here's tomorrow's tease. I'll be analyzing why the models keep shifting the forecast for late February and the growing signal for something potentially more interesting around the 24th to 28th. That's tomorrow afternoon around 4 o'clock. Drop your location in the comments one more time. Whether you are in Ashford or Yeovil, Rochdale or Rill, I want to cover your area tomorrow. Thank you for watching. Stay safe and I'll see you tomorrow at 4 o'clock with